easy graphing question, and find the x and y-intercept question. Okay, so how do you guys graph any equation? What's the method? You learned this from Math D004, the previous class. How do you graph? What's the fundamental, most primitive way of graphing? If I give you an equation, how would you build a graph up? Yeah?
I would chart the graph with the x and the y axis and my negative x and y, and then input a number for x, solve the equation for y.
Very good. Table method or chart is what we do. You build a chart like this, not as big as this one. Pull this down. The first column for x, and you pick this one. Usually you pick x and you compute y, and then compute y, and then you couple them, make a couple out of them. However, are we necessarily always picking x values? No. You can pick this one as well. If you like, you pick this one. But then you must compute x. So you don't get to pick both of them. You make a selection. You either pick x or y, then compute the other one from the equation. How? Let's pick something for x. What's the simplest number you can think of for x? A little bit better than that. 1 is good. 0. I like 0 better than 1 because when you enter 0 here, let's enter it. So you have minus 2y equals minus 5x plus 10. Oh, let's use a small font here. Minus 2y equals minus 5x 10 is the equation. Now imagine you have 0 here, right there. What happens 5 times 0? That's 0. And then I have 0 plus 10 is 10, right? So minus 2y equals 10. And then I divide both sides by minus 2. And I get y is negative 5. So when I enter 0, I obtain negative 5. So the chart method works this way. You pick as many as you wish, like 10, 15, 100 if you like. If you have whole afternoon, you can pick 100 x values and compute pair of numbers like that. But to be most economical, to save time optimally, how many do you need for a linear equation? What do you think? 2. Because linear equations, as in the title, line, linear, first words, first 4 letters is line. So they produce lines. And to obtain a line equation, you only need 2 dots. Get 2 dots, connect and extend them, you're through, you're done. So don't waste time, a lot of time completing 10, 15 rows here. Just pick 2 values. Okay, I picked something for 0, for x. I don't want to pick another value for x. Instead, this time I'm going to pick something for y. Why don't we pick something for y? 0. Let's pick 0 for y. If you pick on the y side, then you must compute on the x side. So I will immediately enter 0 in the equation for y because I already made the selection. Alright? Let me pull this down. Alright, so I have 0 on the left equals minus 5x plus 10. Why don't we subtract minus 10 from both sides so we can get x all by itself? X is all alone, right? And what is the x value now? Divide both sides by negative 5. By the way, this is 10. Negative 5 division. We get x is 10 over 5, 2. So what's the pair couple you got this time? 2, 0. Alright? Now what is next after this? You take a graph paper, like this. You make your own if you don't have one, and just find these dots. Plot those 2 points. Alright, where is 0, -5? This is x coordinate. That means you're not moving on x-axis. -5 is down here. 0, -5 is on y-axis. Okay, so this is 0, -5. And where is 2, 0? Oh, that's easy. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. If y-axis is 0, that means you're on the x-axis at 2. This is 2, 0. Then all you need to do is connect these 2 dots with a solid line like this. Connect first and then extend it in the same direction like that, down and up. And make arrow signs like this. That's it. You graph them. Alright, you graphed it, but at the same time in the graph something amazing happened. Do you see that? What happened? Look at the points, dots. What are they called? These are called intercepts. So is this just pure coincidence? I happened to pick 2 intercepts to graph it? No, that was all planned. Because I knew in the question it's gonna ask me x and y intercepts. With a single stone I got 2 birds, right? I picked these x and y 0 so that I can get x and y intercept. This is called y intercept, and this is called x-intercept. How do I know this fact? From the last class. Haven't we done this in the last class? I told you, if you set x into 0, we set x into 0, the y value you got turns into y-intercept. This is y-intercept. If you set y into 0, the x value you obtain is your x-intercept. So I knew this, that's why I like to put 0 in the x and y. Well, is it okay to choose instead of 1 and 100 in x and y? Sure, but they are useless. And besides, 100 is too high to sketch. How would you go 100 steps up and sketch it, right? So pick nice values, especially zeros if they work. Then 1, 2 maybe, alright? So we got all we need. Just need to graph this thing, okay? So why don't we go to our assignment number 2. Well, how many x and y intercepts we have? Only 1. Can you have more than 1 x or y intercepts for a straight line? Impossible. No, right? Straight lines can have at most 1. Sometimes they have none. Okay? Or